Why are you not cleared from colon cancer? Why are you still trying to control something that is not controllable? Did you know that living with type 2 diabetes puts you at a 47% greater risk of developing colon cancer compared to the rest of the population? But even worse, if you do get colon cancer, living with type 2 diabetes makes you 27% more likely to die from this disease than someone who doesn't have type 2 diabetes. So when Sandra was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes at age 38, right, she was devastated. Of course she was. And she vowed that she was going to beat this. But then as time go by, life gets in the way, and she realized all around her, everybody was telling her, you don't need to worry about this, you can control this, it doesn't have to be like make your life so difficult. So of course she settled into the norm of controlling instead of trying to beat this disease. And so it became a norm for her. When she looks at the TV everywhere she turns, there's advertisement promising this new thing, you can control this, right? Not only that, when she walk around, it's become almost like a fashion statement with everybody wearing these little round things to say they're monitoring their blood glucose level. So it becomes like a norm. 10 years later, married with 3 young children, she gets the devastating news: you have colon cancer. At first she was devastated. She's like, what now? How did this happen? Then she remembered her aunt, who also suffered with type 2 diabetes, was diagnosed with colon cancer and eventually died of this disease. You see, this is a wake-up call for so many individuals, and it is not being constantly spoken about. So most people don't realize that you are basically a waiting time bomb for cancer and everything that comes with type 2 diabetes. But the truth, you may wonder, why would somebody choose to just settle with just trying to control as opposed to trying to get rid of this disease? And it's simple. Everywhere around, it seems as though there's something new going on, or it's nothing. Somebody make you feel like you can live a good life with type 2 diabetes. But the truth is, it's a ticking time bomb. Yes, in the beginning stage, you may find that it's easier to control when you're just diagnosed, but as time goes by, what you find is that you are either increasing the amount of medication you're taking, or you're slowly losing your vitality. But there's great news. There is actually a simple way that you can do that can help you not only reduce your risk of colon cancer, but help you to get rid of type 2 diabetes. And that is simply to start with adding fiber in your diet. Yes, I'm not talking about some Metamucil powder. Making fiber-filled meals a regular part of your diet. When we think about fiber, most individuals forget that fiber is naturally found in carbohydrate food. And most times, we've been told that carbs is not good for type 2 diabetes, it raises your blood sugar. Well, of course it does raise your blood sugar, because the human body, the main source of energy is glucose, and that is found in the abundance of foods that God gave us, right? But it's not all calories, or it's not all carbohydrate that is created equal. The truth is that foods with their natural state are loaded with fiber, what your body needs. And with colon cancer, fiber is like a broom that sweeps your colon clean. Fiber not only sweeps your colon, but it helps to attract all the toxins, the carcinogenic toxins from some of the foods we eat, and help to eliminate it before it has a chance to sit in your gut and cause that cancer. So adding fiber-filled meals every day is one of your first steps to not only shutting down colon cancer, but setting you on the path to reversing type 2 diabetes. One may wonder, how do I do this? It's simple. Use the foods the way God intended. Use foods in their natural states. And no, I'm not telling you to go and eat the raw food, but I'm saying choose non-processed foods over processed foods. Yes, and there's a simple way. It has to be with every meal every day. If you make a mental decision, if you think, I'm going to add fiber in, make sure my foods are filled with fiber naturally over anything else, it becomes a part of you. Of course, making changes is not the most easiest thing to do. We know that if you've been doing something all your life, trying to make change sometimes can be a challenge. But I'm going to share with you 3 easy steps that you can apply that will make this transition much easier and keep you on the path to not only reversing, but clearing yourself from colon cancer. Number 1 is believe. Yes. You see, most times, I can tell you all the things you need to do. I can even show you how to prepare the meals and how to make it. But listen, none of that will mean anything to you if you don't believe what I'm saying. You see, in order for your body and in order for you to be able to be successful and maintain the results, you got to believe what you're hearing. You see, the mind, everything starts in the mind. If you believe that, yes, doing this, adding this natural fiber in your food or natural fiber-filled food is a burden, your body, your brain, your whole system is going to reject it. So it starts with believing. And how do you reinforce your belief? You start with the truth. Learning. What's the knowledge? The knowledge is that we were created in a way that our body craves natural foods. Our body works best whenever you process the foods that you're given to eat. Instead of becomes a healing agent, it becomes a weapon against you. Your body was fearfully made and designed to heal itself, but it has to get the things that are good for it, right? So you got to first believe. You got to learn what the truth is. Learn how fiber works in your body. Fiber works in your body by simply pulling out those toxins, cleaning your colon and setting you up for success. Knowledge is power. The word of God says, through knowledge the just shall be delivered. Sometimes if you believe in the wrong idea and you keep doing it, you're going to keep getting the wrong results. So you got to believe the truth. The Bible also tells us that we shall know the truth and the truth shall set us free, and that a lack of knowledge our people perish. Well, you're no longer lacking knowledge. You're no longer going to perish, because I am sharing with you the natural truth, the truth of what works for you and what prevents you from developing colon cancer. And that is, you must choose fiber-filled foods in your meals every time. So the first step is believe, right? So knowing the truth helps you understand it and helps you practice it. The next step, number 2, is you must practice it. Yes, you can know about it, you can talk about it, you can even be able to teach about it. But if you are not practicing it, it's of no use to you. So you must practice it, but there's also a system in where you have to practice, right? First you have to plan and prepare, and then you have to continue to do it. So planning is important. And why is it planning? You have to plan your meals. When you're making changes, you can't just rely on the fact to say, you know what, I'm going to do that tomorrow. You have to have a plan. You have to make sure you have the food ready. You have to put a mental plan in place, because your normal habits are going to override you. If you're not intentional about planning, prepping your meals, checking out your meals for the whole week, making sure that whatever you plan to have is for you and not against you. Plan your meals, prepare ahead of time, and forget the feelings. Yes, forget the feelings. What I mean, because you're not going to feel like doing it. Your body has been doing what it does all this time. You've been enjoying it. You're used to it. So the feeling's going to come like, you know what, let's not do this today. Forget the feelings. Focus on the finish line. Forget the feelings, focus on the finish line. Keep on taking one step ahead of each other. Plan your meals, prepare your meals, and make sure, forget about the feelings. Do it. Not because you feel like doing it, because it's the right thing to do. Colon cancer is no joke. Type 2 diabetes is no joke. So number 1, I said you have to believe what you said. You have to believe what you're about, because when you believe the truth, then the doing becomes much easier, because that is your why, right? Once you believe that, then you go to the practicing it. Yes, practicing becomes perfect. When you practice doing the right thing, after a while it becomes automatic, but it has to be intentionally done. So number 3 is you got to claim the promise. What promise am I talking about? I'm talking about the promise that was given. In the Word of God, it says, God tells us that He wishes above all things that we prosper and be in good health, even as our soul prosper. He says He's the one who heals us, but you got to give Him something to heal. You got to give Him something to work on by following what He has told you. He cannot heal what He says not to do. So the bottom line is, we have to get back to basic. We have to get back and making an effort and allow Him to give us the strength to keep it going to the end. So many individuals have gained victory over type 2 diabetes. So many individuals are able to be cleared from this colon cancer. At the same time, there's so many who died, who become disabled. The choice has got to be yours. Am I going to live or am I going to die? Am I going to claim the promise? Am I going to follow the step? I'm going to believe the truth. Am I going to practice the truth? And so you have right to claim the promise because you're doing the things that determine that you get this promise. Right? So that's the third thing. So the first one is believe. The second is you got to practice. You got to plan, prepare, and you got to finish. Go to the finish line. And you have to claim the promise. As you're doing, stay to the finish line. Finish the work. So many times we start stuff and we stop because it's too difficult. If you start and stop and not finish, you are not going to get the results. Are you going to fall along the wayside? Are you going to maybe not make the choice that day? Of course you're going to, but get back up. Keep on going. Plan your meals, prepare your meal, focus on the finish line and follow it to the end. You will get the results. You see, I want you to remember, fiber-filled meal every time is your step to not only clearing your colon from cancer, removing toxin, but it helps to lower your blood glucose level. It helps you to lower your cholesterol. It helps to shut down craving, and it helps you heal. It helps you say goodbye type 2 diabetes. So you have to decide. Am I going to have fiber-filled meal? Am I going to clear myself from colon cancer? Or am I just going to sit and just hope it doesn't come, only to be surprised when it does come? Right? So if you believe and if you know that this is what you desire, I ask you to take the first step. Declare your position. Go ahead and comment in this chat, cleared from colon cancer. I am cleared from colon cancer. I am cleared from colon cancer. Go ahead, comment it in the chat. And remember, like it and share. When you learn something, share with others. Sharing allows you to get back. So share with those of you, your family members and friends who you know are struggling with type 2 diabetes. Go ahead and share. And remember, you were created to prosper. You were created to heal. You have a magnificent, awesome body designed to heal itself, but you must give it what it needs. Colon cancer can be cleared from your system. Let it not be said that you never know. Go ahead, comment, subscribe, and share. And I'll see you next time in our next video. Have a great day.